Do 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 do. Welcome, travelers. Welcome to episode 721 of Bible Study Devotional, as well as BMX learning. And more, we're getting more into the realms of flatland BMX and just overall some BMX where you can just learn it in many areas. We have been doing a lot of driveway riding, which that kind of involves a subtle bank, and a lot of people have driveways. So, and just also we're trying to learn how to ride better in the streets. Now, I actually did talk to some flat riders, and they were saying that there are actually some flat riders that are actually very good at just riding many different terrains. You know, because overall I've been trying to ride in a controlled fashion of just a level surface, but I guess there are some flat riders that actually they actually kind of like the challenge or something of just riding things that are just maybe uneven, maybe it has a slope to it, things of that nature. So I was like, you know what? I should probably just ride out on the street more and just try and learn that, because if you actually take notice of it, most streets are actually kind of like banked down on both sides, and it does affect a lot of tricks, especially like the pumping tricks. And I actually think that's maybe why a lot of people that do the pumping tricks really like level surface, because I know those tricks get really affected if there is some subtle slopes. But anyway, we will get into bike riding, and if you guys don't want to listen to these Bible studies, I know they're kind of awkward and kind of strange and peculiar, but if you don't want to watch that, even though most of the people are even watch this stream, you guys just listen to these Bible studies. I've been noticing, because there's not really many bike riders on BMX riders on Twitch, less so even the flatland. There's even less. I've only met maybe like 3 flatlanders on this, actually maybe a little bit more, maybe 4 flatlanders on Twitch. So you guys can skip over in the next hour or so. We're gonna get into a Bible study, and then we will get into riding and bike. But also the other thing is even within the bike riding, it might even be a way as a form of ministry that you can use, and we can go out into the lands and you can explore the cities and you can see just the lay of the lands. You can almost, I think it's a great way to have a lay of the lands. And what's also very strange about it is I've met so many believers on this vehicle right here. I mean, there's just literally been, I probably met more believers now just on the bike, just riding through the city, just like talking to random people, and then, you'll meet some random believers and stuff like that. And it's just really interesting because you get to see, you could see the levels of humanity too. You can see the gnarly, the poor, just the poorest of the poor of the community that they're in, but also you could see really wealthy sections of humanity as well. And it's very intriguing to me. So yeah. Anyway, let's get into this Bible study. Today we're going to get into just some verses. Now, I know there's tons of verses on wisdom, right? But there's so many verses on wisdom, and the reason why I want to get into some of these verses on wisdom is because of the verse that we covered yesterday. Let's actually just Now, how I've been trying to do these Bible studies is I'm trying to do these Bible studies to where no matter what, if you've never read the Bible or something like that, you can just hop in. Or if you didn't listen to the previous streams, you don't have to listen to the previous streams in order to just hop in. So that's kind of why I'm trying to, I guess that is a kind of a way I'm trying to structure these Bible studies, because I know some people kind of have trouble listening to, especially if Bible studies get kind of long, they kind of have trouble, especially if you're doing it for multiple days on end, right? But overall, I'm trying to pick a general topic of today of just wisdom, because yesterday there was that part in Colossians 4:5-6 about we should be walking in wisdom toward outsiders or something like that, right? I'm making the best use of time.
And so that's what we're going to get into. And I brought this verse up just to kind of like a little relay of what we went into yesterday. This is the verse that we went into yesterday of Colossians 4:5. Walk in wisdom toward outsiders, making the best use of time. There's also this one, the KJV says, walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. And I was like just looking up some verses today, trying to find some verses on like wisdom, right? And we actually have covered so many verses that went into wisdom, and a lot of verses that actually go into wisdom are actually found in Proverbs. But today I found one of this one right here, and I was like, interesting. I've never really done a Bible study on it, and so that's what we're going to get into. We're going to look up some commentaries on it, and it's Psalms 90:12. It says, "So teach us to number our days, so that we may get a heart of wisdom." Now, it sounds weird because what's weird about this one is that now I actually didn't even here's the weird thing is I read this verse and it just reminded me of doing these streams, because on these streams I keep a little counter, right? Like we're on episode 721, which is actually kind of like 721 days, right? And it's kind of funny because I didn't really, when I was doing it, I did it because I actually am really bad at making titles. And so I just kind of just use the same title, right? I just have the title. By the way, if you have the title and you put in the actual words, it's kind of like using kind of like a hashtag, because I know I have like BMX or something up in there, and some people have found the stream just because of that little title thing. But yeah, normally I have a lot of trouble just I don't know what to write on the title, so I just make it just days, right? And I just kind of found it funny because I was like, I'm wondering if we're kind of trying to do that in some regard. I'm not sure, but we're going to read a commentary on this. So teach us to number our days that we may get a heart of wisdom. And how I found that one, by the way, is all I did was I went onto this site and I just put in wisdom. And there's all these verses about wisdom. And we'll just read that first one. James 1:5. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all without reproach, and it will be given him. Maybe what also we could get into is what even is wisdom. I in some way, I think wisdom is kind of like maybe learning from people that have made mistakes, or you actually have made mistakes, and now instead of you maybe doing something that might potentially harm you, or maybe get you into an emotional state that you don't like, maybe you can bypass some of these emotional states by maybe walking in wisdom in some degree. That's what I think of it anyway. Let's see here. Creative Fit. What's up, man? Let's actually look up that right now, because I don't think I actually made a very good definition of what... Actually, I don't even know. That's so funny that I don't even know... I honestly don't even know the definition of wisdom. Is it just knowledge that is just been... It's just knowledge that... What's the difference between knowledge and wisdom? Are those just the same thing? I'm not even sure now. Now I'm confused now. Let's look at that. What is wisdom? Oh my goodness. I'm kind of embarrassed now that I don't even know the definition of what wisdom is. We're supposed to be walking in wisdom toward outsiders. I don't even know what wisdom is, man. Oh well, that's why we're doing these Bible studies, right? What is wisdom? What is wisdom in the Bible? Oh my goodness. I wonder what other people would think about, right? What would other people say on that? Okay, let's see here. Okay, interesting. Let's just read. So I just put in that right there. These are the first things that come up. Let's see here. It says, of the world and oneself as creatures, the magnificent loving God, while wisdom is acquiring skill of applying knowledge rightly. Okay, we were kind of right. I actually got that wrong. That's actually interesting, right? I actually got that definition wrong. What is this one going to say? Wisdom is the practical application of God's truth to a specific situation. Wisdom is knowing what God wants you to do and then doing it. Interesting, okay. Well, I'm actually really glad I looked that up, because imagine if I just didn't look that up. I would have just been like, okay, well, this is what I think wisdom is. I kind of got it wrong. I guess it is some way knowledge and that, but I guess I never thought about its knowledge. It's I guess godly knowledge that we actually apply it to our own lives. Okay, let's see. Let's read your comments, Creative. It's wisdom, doing something now, and then you will feel good about later. Interesting. The ability to navigate life well. You know, and I would love to hear like other believers. Like I very much enjoy, especially like, you know, when I was talking about like going throughout the cities and stuff, and then when you meet another believer, or you even meet somebody that hasn't even really believed that long, maybe they have like the smallest seed of faith, right? It's always interesting to me when they like bring up a verse, or I bring up a verse to them or something like that, and and just hearing their first like unfiltered thoughts, right? Because sometimes I feel like these unfiltered thoughts are very important, right? Because it kind of shows, because I'm kind of showing my failures right there, right? That's kind of like the embarrassing thing is about these streams, actually, is because I literally just got that definition wrong of what I thought wisdom was, right? But then the thing is you get to see that I don't know everything. I'm not perfect or anything like that, right? I am infallible, right? And the thing is that I think that is interesting, because not only is it like that, but it's like that in real life when you meet other believers. When you talk to believers in person, it's like that, right? Now, I know when you look up like YouTube videos, many times I'm wondering if this actually intimidates people, because if you look up like YouTube videos on like Bible stuff, or like you listen to some sermons, sometimes it's very just like, this is it, this is it, this is it, this is it, and it's not necessarily a kind of like, oh, well, you know what, I may have gotten this wrong, and so we're going to look this up, and oh, I did get this wrong, and you get to see that I got it wrong. But that's kind of, I guess that's kind of what makes these streams a little bit more real, right? Okay, so let's see here. We're going to look up a, I guess let's go, we're going to look up a commentary on Psalms 90:12, because we're supposed to number our days, which is weird, right? And I wonder if that actually might have anything to do if you were to get into maybe doing these streams or something like that, and if you just started numbering the days. Maybe you haven't numbered them as of yet, but if you started streaming or something, I think it is kind of encouraging to me. I'm like, okay, let's keep going. And one reason it kind of does keep me encouraged is because I just recently saw this other believer, and he was talking about this very old musician, and she was like this crazy believer, but she made 8,000 songs. People say that they're like hymns or something, like songs, but she wrote all these songs for like God. And I'm like, what in the world, bro? This chick wrote 8,000 songs, bro. And it's crazy. I mean, I don't know if that's just I don't know the amount of songs in a person's like career or something like that. But just thinking about anything, imagine doing anything and you doing it 8,000 times. I mean, I think if you do anything 8,000 times, you're probably gonna at least have one thing that kind of like sounds good or something like that. And I'm like, wow, man, that's just such a such a crazy feat to have, man, to write 8,000 songs. But the other thing is that this chick was blind. I forgot her name. It was Fanny something. I can't remember her name, but yeah, she was this blind musician, and I guess she wrote 8,000 songs, and she tried to honor it to the Lord, and I found that very very inspiring to me. So anyway, we found this commentary. Let's see what this will say. If we can. Anyway, I'm a little jumbled up. I'm a little jumbled up with my words today. The other thing is yesterday, everything just kind of worked out, man. I don't know what it was yesterday. Like, because yesterday, you know what's actually weird? I noticed this is kind of what starts happening. I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, if I have like a day that just flows, like yesterday was one of those weird days where like the Bible study flowed, we found a combo. Not only did I think of a combo, but actually the commentary brought up the combo that I was thinking about. And then not only that, but we landed some stuff on our bike that I felt was pretty smooth, and I was like, man, it just felt like everything was just kind of working and just firing off yesterday. But today it kind of feels a little bit more, I'm a little bit more staggered a little bit, but we're going to try and do it anyway. You guys can just see my failures, right? And that's the kind of the cool thing. And actually, I'm wondering if this is actually an element of why so many people are starting to get maybe more into watching streaming, and maybe a reason why these streaming platforms are growing as of how they are, is because I think there is a real life human element to it. And just, as I think deeper into it, I think failure is actually a human element, right? It's kind of like and I'm wondering if this is actually why people like watching streamers, is because, like, many times, like, say you go on Instagram or like TikTok or even like YouTube and stuff like that, right? Many times it is just highlights, right? And it's just like them editing all of the highlights, all of their best moments of their life or their best moments of the day, and they all just compile it into one. And you're seeing, and sometimes it tripped me out, especially like in terms of some of like the athletic spheres or even just the artistic spheres, because I'm like, man, these guys are just like perfect every single day. Like, they're just doing all this crazy stuff. But the thing you have to remember is you don't really see behind the scenes of what they're really doing, right? And I think this is actually one of the big reasons why people like streaming, is because you get to kind of see the failures, because you can't edit these things out. Hopefully, I don't think anybody has created that sort of technology. I don't think someone would create some sort of technology like that, because you would have to make some sort of technology to edit something right in real time, right? Now, I know this isn't completely in real time. I know this is actually 1 second. There is a 1 second delay on the stream, on my stream anyway. But I think there is something about that, of maybe people like seeing failure in people. And unfortunately, I actually think this is why some people actually watch some streamers, especially, maybe they want to see them fail, or maybe they want to like egg them on so they fail and then they can have a laugh or something like that. But yeah, it's kind of weird to think about, right? Okay, anyway, let's get back on track, and we're getting into this. What is this going to say? Why should we want God to teach us to number our days? I don't know. What would I say on that? Psalms 90:12. I'm a little, I don't know why should we number our days? I don't know. I mean, to me personally, the only thing that comes up in my mind is it does kind of encourage me, right? Because I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to put this little ticker to another ticker, and it kind of encourages me, because I'm like, all right, let's try and get to a gnarly number. It almost kind of feels like I'm leveling up. That's actually that's actually what numbering my days. Now, I don't know if this is correct or anything, but for me personally, when I number my days, especially on this stream, it just feels like I'm leveling up. Like, we're on level 721 right now. Hopefully, we can get to like that one musician. She got to. I mean, I don't know if that's numbering her days, because I'm pretty sure her songs probably took more than 1 day to make. But, I mean, maybe even just numbering she numbered the amount of songs that she made, and she made 8,000 songs, which is insane, man. Imagine if we get to 8,000 streams. How crazy would that be if we got to day 8,000 of our streams? That is insane to think about, man. Like, that's level 8,000. Here for your success. And success, and it's so funny when you say something, man, because like, isn't this so weird? Because like, this is such a strange thing about, which I actually really like about Twitch, or just the streaming platform, is because there's this sense of camaraderie. And I know actually many days nobody says anything, right? Especially, I'm used to it. I probably did a year and a half or something, or maybe like a year of streaming where nobody would even say anything. But I was just like doing these Bible studies, right? I'm just practicing reading aloud and stuff like this, right? But what's funny is, just because you said that, here for your success, it reminds me of this cheesy, it's this cheesy motivational quote, and actually it's not in the Bible, by the way, but it's this cheesy motivational quote that says, success is built upon the mountains of our failures. Which is kind of true, right? And that's and every time I say that, because I know I've said that a lot on many other streams, but there are some there was a time when I got into like watching like Olympic athletes, because I actually used to work with some of these Olympic, not the ones in the documentary, but I actually did used to work with Olympic athletes over when I was working at Woodward West. and just observing how they operated, man, they were just like always on it, dude. Like they were always like regimen. They were always just like eating. You could always tell the Olympic athletes because they would just have a plate of food, bro. Like even just like the small little gymnast person, they have a mound of food, bro, and they're just eating. And you're like, what in the world, bro? What are these people doing? And then you start realizing that they're training just every single day, bro. They're just on it, man. Like Olympic athletes, bro, they are, I mean, I wouldn't say every Olympic athlete because I'm not sure, because I know that many sports have different training regimens and stuff like that. But if you start getting deeper into it, a lot of Olympic athletes are very, very disciplined. And why I bring this up is because one of the documentaries I watched, there was this chick and she said, I brought it up many times, but she said something like most people, when they think of an Olympic athlete, they think of this abnormal, genetically gifted individual, which there are many people in the Olympics like that probably, right? But what she was saying is that in most cases, the people that are actually in the Olympics, they're actually the ones that failed the most. And how crazy is that, man? It's so crazy. So the people at the top in the Olympics, as an Olympic herself, she was saying that those people are the ones that actually failed the most. But you know what? They didn't give up, and they just kept going and kept going and kept going. And it just trips me out. I'm like, that's so weird, because when you think about failure, sometimes you think about failure as being like you got an F or something, and you just became like, I don't know, right? It's just weird. Okay, let's see here. When we think about it in light of yesterday's verse, the days are evil, numbering like a countdown as to return home and complete a work here. Interesting, yeah. That is a very interesting way to think about it as well, right? And it's also really cool for me to think about, is because, like, man, I've been hearing a lot of believers get disheartened in the faith. Maybe not even in the faith, but just because, like, they kind of feel like nothing's really working out or something like that. But how I view it as is, like, even if you plant one seed, man, even one seed in that individual, maybe you're not even planting a seed in anybody, even in that day. But we could just be practicing planting seeds, right? And you don't need like thousands of followers. You don't need a big building with a big congregation. Bro, people like, even I just think about Jesus, how he did. Dude, he was just preaching out in the streets, bro. He was just out there, on the mountainside, on the mounts, and just like by the beach. He was hanging out with just like homeless people and just like this stuff. Like, you don't need like these. I think what's starting to occur, it's actually affected me as well, but we have so many comparisons right now, right? Because of the internet, right? And because we have so many comparisons, sometimes we can actually get very we can feel maybe less than, or we can maybe just feel like it's not working for us or something like that, when sometimes maybe God is just preparing us to do certain things, or maybe God's preparing you just to plant that one seed in that one person, right? Instead of maybe planting a bunch of seeds or something like that, right? That's how I like to think of it. And also your comment does remind me of the part of the Lord's Prayer. In the Lord's Prayer, he says, "Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Okay, let's see here. So let's read this commentary. I haven't even gotten into this commentary. It's already been 23 minutes. Holy Toledo. Okay. Psalms 90:12 says, "Teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom." The request, "teach us to number our days," means we need God to reveal to us the brevity of life. The revelation will help us grow wise, and wisdom is important because the choices we make during our brief stay on earth have eternal consequences. The remainder of Psalms 90 gives detail about God's wrath against sin and about the meaning of life. Our earthly lives will not last long, and we need wisdom to prepare for what follows. Psalms 90 was penned by Moses. I didn't know that. Is that right? I didn't even know that. That's so weird. Psalms 90 was penned by Moses. Moses, a man with whom the Lord spoke face to face, as a man speaks with his friend. Exodus 33:11. See also Numbers 12:7-8. Yet Moses wrote about the fierce anger of God against sin. He pleaded with the Lord to help humankind realize that we will all answer to God for deeds done in the body. 2 Corinthians 5:10 and Psalms 90:11. Moses writes, "If only we knew the power of your anger." Moses was a man who knew God better than most mortals. Yet he had experienced the sting of God's punishment for his sin and yearned to help others avoid it. In Numbers 20:12. It's kind of funny. You know what's actually very interesting about that? Just even reading that last segment, it actually reminds me that just, even just reading that right there, where like Moses actually experienced kind of what happened with some of these sins, right? And what's funny is when I was living out in Long Beach, right, I would meet these people that came out of like prison, or they were actually out of prison for a while, right? But they became saved and stuff like that, and they like changed their life in 180. And some of these guys were like old ex like gang members, or they were like drug dealers, or people that like beat up people and got in fights, and I don't know what else they got into, right? But it's actually very interesting because it actually does remind me of that. And man, some of these guys were just so zealous, bro. And I understand why they were zealous, right? Because imagine you being put in prison for maybe years and years and years, and you being surrounded by all these other people. And the thing is that what if God was like, he kind of like maybe pre-warned you in prison at that moment, and you're like, oh my goodness, and you're sitting there year after year after year just contemplating of what you're doing, right? And then just like seeing that other people are just coming into prison doing the exact same things that you were doing, right? So maybe that's probably why they're so zealous in some degree, right? They just feel sad that their community, that more people are just going into prison when they could actually, not have to experience that, right? But that's what I think about that anyway. Crazy, a man who wandered for 40 years talking about numbering your days. He did. I mean, that is the weird thing, right? He was wandering in the desert for 40 years, right? But I guess God was preparing them, right? I guess that's the ultimate thing about that, right? Okay, let's keep going. What is this going to say? Jesus gave a parable that also explains what happens when we don't number our days. In Luke 12:19 through 21, he describes a rich man who wanted only to drink and be merry and had no time or thought for God. The rich man believed he had years yet to enjoy of his pleasures, but God required his soul that very night. If that rich man had learned to number his days, he would have pursued ventures that had eternal significance. We can learn from this parable that none of us know how many days we will be granted, so we must not waste them on silly, selfless pursuits that have no real value. God desires for human beings is to learn and grow and seek wisdom. In Proverbs 2, as we learn to number our days, we will share that desire. We were created to walk in fellowship with God, discovering the mysteries and delights he has scattered throughout creation. That's interesting. Discovering the mysteries and delights he has scattered throughout creation. You know what that verse reminds me of? The verse of like the Lord, the hidden treasures proverb. What verse is that? Hidden treasures proverb. There's one proverb in there. I actually can't remember the exact verse, but I know it's kind of like that, right? Let's see here. What is it? It's like it's for kings to seek out. It's the glory of God to conceal things. It's the glory of God to conceal a matter. Which one is that? That's Proverbs 25:2. Yeah, so this one's very interesting right here. It is the glory of God to conceal things, but the glory of kings is to search things out. Isn't that weird, right? And it's weird because this verse right here, actually, I guess this might be like the first combo of the day or something like this, but when I'm thinking about it, right, it's the glory of God to conceal things, right? If you read that one and then you read into the parable of the sower, in the beginning of the parable of the sower, the Lord Jesus Christ, he starts talking about that he's like kind of revealing these things, but we don't actually have the perception to see it, right? Let's actually just read it right here. And it's kind of weird because it's weird when I read it again. Let's read it. Let's just read it and kind of ponder over it, right? Meditate on it. Where is it? It says, "Then the disciples came and said to him, 'Why do you speak to them in parables?' And he answered them, saying, 'To you it has been given to know the secrets of the kingdom of heaven.'" That verse is very peculiar right there. So there are secrets of the kingdom of heaven, right? I find that very weird. "For to one who has, more will be given, and he will have an abundance. But the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. This is why I speak to them in parables. Because seeing they do not see, and hearing they do not hear, nor do they understand. Indeed, in their case, the prophecy of Isaiah is fulfilled, saying, 'You will indeed hear and never understand, and you will indeed see, but never perceive. For this people's hearts have grown dull, and with their ears they can barely hear, and with their eyes they have closed, lest they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand, and with their heart, and turn, and I would heal them.'" And so those are those verses right there, right, of Matthew 13. And it reminds me of this, and why it reminds me of that, right, is because God is actually somewhat like concealing things, right? And it's for us, I guess, in some degree, is we actually have to go find these things out. And that's actually one thing I actually really like to do, and I actually kind of find it kind of fun, right? And how I see it now, I don't know, by the way, take this with a grain of salt. I don't know if I'm doing it correctly, right? But take, for example, like right here, right? Like even these cards, right? I think a lot of people would say, what is Bible? There's nothing of anything of whatsoever about the Bible or about God or anything about these cards or something like that, right? But what's weird is I actually found some cards with Bible verses on them, right? Like let's like even this one right here, right? So like this card right here has like a Bible verse on it, right? And I just found that peculiar, right? It has Mark 5:13. Now I don't know if that was something for me to find or something like that, but also, you know, I just if I see something even that's promoting God, even just a little bit, even if it's just slightly promoting God, I'm just like, maybe God wants me to learn something about that, right? Or even like take this for example, right? So this box art, right? It's actually done by Brad Rigney, right? And he painted all these characters and stuff like this on this box art, right? But what's weird is that this character right here, his name's Gideon, right? And what's weird is this character right here, his name's Gideon, he actually has traits of actual Gideon from the Bible. But what's also very peculiar is the guy that made this box art, he's actually a believer. And I actually didn't really know he was a believer until later on. And this was actually the very first box that I got of this game, right? And just finding out that he was a believer, I was like, what in the world, bro? That's so weird. Like, that's so strange, right? And I just find that a little weird. And not only in that aspect, but, you know, I don't know if that's like concealing, if God was trying to conceal things or something like that. But also even like in the aspect of like BMX riding now, right? So a lot of the tricks that I'm trying to learn, what's actually kind of weird about it, is that some of these tricks or some of these combos and some of these tricks have actually been done by believers that I wanted to learn from, right? And it's just kind of hilarious, right? Especially like the stick B no-hander. So I don't know if that's actually something about it, but even just learning the stick B no-hander and some of the combos from the stick B, if you look up how to do it, there's not many how-to videos, right? So I'm just like, well, that's weird. Like, I saw these two believers and they were doing this trick. I want to learn how to do that trick, right? I look up how do you do a stick B? And there are like a couple how-tos, but like for the Switchfoot stick B, it's like kind of different, right? And I don't know. Well, let's see. Let's read your comment. Broad is the way that leads to destruction. We got to work, seek the truth and wisdom of God. Yeah, that is, you know, actually I've never done a Bible study on that one, right? It's like broad is the way of destruction and narrow is the way of life or something like that, right? What verse? Let's bring that verse up now. I'm actually curious. Broad is the way that leads to destruction. You know what's also weird about this? Sometimes it makes me think about Flatland. Because sometimes I see like these Flatlanders and they're just riding in a really little area. I'm just like, what in the world? Let's see. Let's read this one. Enter by the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the way is easy that leads to destruction, and those who entered by it are many. That's a very strange verse, huh? Interesting. All right, where are we at now? I kind of lost my place. Oh wait, that's why that's why that's why we got into it. That whole little conversation right there happened because I read that one sentence. Discovering the mysteries and delights he has scattered throughout creation. I guess that's kind of weird that he says he has scattered throughout creation, right? The Lord enjoys partnering with us as we pursue all he has designed for us to accomplish. Psalms 37:23 and Ephesians 2:10. When we live in harmony with him, death is simply a change of address. Our enjoyment of him continues unabated when we step in from this life into eternity. Those who have learned to number their days spend them in pursuit of wisdom, goodness, and the kingdom of God. Of Matthew 6:33. Bro, that's hilarious because we went into that verse yesterday. And we should be seeking first the kingdom of God, right? And we can actually be hires. That's the other thing. We could actually be hires to help the Lord Jesus Christ to help build up his kingdom, right? They don't have to fear the wrath of God when their earthly lives are over. Jesus came to earth to make a way for us to be made right with God. 2 Corinthians 5:21. But we don't force his gift of eternal life on anyone. John 3:16 through 18. Those who never learn to number their days spend them as if life is all there is. Psalms 90 warns about them about the judgment. They are destined to undergo Hebrews 9:27. But when we learn to number our days, we see each day as a valuable gift and an opportunity to store up treasure in heaven. Luke 12:33 and Revelations 22:12. Interesting. Now I'm wondering what other comment this is. So by the way, I just also want to relay. Got Questions is a very like modern day commentary, right? These ones are actually very, very easy to read. But now I'm actually curious, what do other what are some older commentaries going to say, right? Interesting to think about the narrow verse after Matthew 5, where there was a huge crowd on the side of a mountain listening. Interesting, huh? Yeah. We're gonna have to do a Bible. We're gonna do a Bible. Actually, I've never done a Bible study on that narrow verse part, right? Because I feel like that can almost be taken in a subjective way at times, right? Okay, let's look up another Psalms 90:12 commentary. I want to read like an older commentary now. Let's see what an older commentary is going to say. So in these older I don't know why these older commentaries always use KJV, but they always do. I don't know. There's so many other translations, but some of these older commentaries, I don't know why they use KJV. I mean, I guess because KJV came out in 1611, but let's read this one. So teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. And we're supposed to walk in wisdom towards outsiders, right? So this is why we got into this verse today, right? And I guess in one aspect, we should be trying to number our days. And honestly, I don't know if this might be the same way to do it, but maybe you can start numbering your days. If you're getting into streaming, you could just put a little number thing and just track your days, right? It's just it's just kind of motivating, and you could see these days almost as like a level, right? Like you're leveling up one little thing, right? Okay, let's read Ellicott's commentary. So we're going to read Ellicott's commentary on this. Number our days. This verse, as it stands, literally gives to allot, or in allotting. See Isaiah 65:12. Our days, so teach, and we will cause to come the heart of wisdom. The last clause, if intelligible at all, must mean that we may offer a wise heart. And the natural way to understand the verse is to make God, not man, as in the authorized version, the reckoner of the days. In allotting our days, thus make us known, i.e., make us know the power of thine anger, in order that we may present a wise heart. The verse must evidently be taken in close connection with the preceding, or the point of the petition is lost. And though the ordinary rendering, teach us to number our days, has given birth to a number of sayings which might be quoted in illustration, it is neither in itself very intelligible, nor except by one instance later Hebrew, can it be supported as rendering of the original. See, that's so weird. That almost like didn't make sense to me. I don't know if that made sense to you guys, but it kind of like see, that's why some of these older commentaries, I'm like, what is this dude saying? I honestly didn't even understand what that last paragraph was. Okay, let's read the Benson. What's the Benson commentary going to say? What's this one? Hopefully this one's a little bit more, little easier to understand. Psalms 90:12. So teach us by thy spirit and grace, as thou hast already taught us by thy word, to number our days. So that's actually kind of interesting, right? So it's like we're to ask God. We're like, God, can you teach us to number our days, right? Like, that's kind of interesting. To consider the shortness and miseries of this life, and the certainty and nearness of death, and the causes and consequences thereof, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom, that we may heartily devote ourselves to the study and practice of true wisdom, meaning undoubtedly the wisdom which is alone such is the sense of the Holy Scriptures, namely fearing God and keeping his commandments, or true genuine godliness and righteousness, so by making a right use of this short, uncertain space of time allotted us here, we may prepare for another state, a state for happiness hereafter. For Moses could not intend hereby to give the Israelites any hopes that, by applying their hearts unto wisdom, they might procure a revocation of the preemptory sentence of death passed upon all the generation, nor to suggest that other men might, by so doing, prevent their death, both which he very well knew to be impossible. But he intended to persuade the Israelites and others to prepare themselves for death, and for the great account after death, and as they could not continue long in this life, and must expect much misery while they did continue in it, to make sure of the happiness of another. It appears then that the Israelites in the wilderness, when cut off from all hopes of an earthly Canaan and the promises of this life, were not left destitute of better hopes, or without the knowledge of a Redeemer and life to come. And when it is said in Deuteronomy 8:2 and Deuteronomy 8:16, God led them through this great and terrible wilderness to humble them and to prove them, that he might do them good in the later end. The meaning is that he might do them good in their future state according to the most natural sense of the word. Interesting. Okay, that's actually interesting. So isn't that weird, right? Because now actually this is very strange, right? Because in the very first the modern Got Questions commentary, they like briefly brought up Moses. They literally the only thing they said about Moses was Moses wrote Psalms 90, right? But they didn't really like go deeper into the story of Moses and stuff like that, right? But I think that's what's interesting about this commentary. If we can kind of take an analysis of the differentials of what was different about this commentary and then this commentary, Benson commentary got pretty heavy in that, right? He really got into, and I think the Benson commentary, I kind of like the Benson commentary because it's actually, if we can think a little deeper on it, right, it was penned by Moses, right? So there's probably something deeper that we should learn about Moses and what he was experiencing, what he was going through, why did he write that? And I kind of like that, how the Benson commentary did that, right? Whereas like the very first commentary, they kind of just briefly brought up Moses, right? And you know what's also crazy, man, is like, it's so crazy because like, now imagine what these commentaries that all these guys just wrote down, right? And if you literally go back in the front of the stream, Bro, I could literally only say one sentence of what I thought about, maybe like a couple sentences of what I thought this verse was about. And these people, man, they wrote like entire like look at the Benson commentary is long. Look at that, all for one verse, bro. Look at that. They wrote all that stuff down for one single verse. It was crazy. I think it's crazy. I don't know. Other people might think I'm crazy for just reading these things, but I kind of want to read one more. Should we read another one? It's already 45. Now there's a bunch of commentaries, by the way. Look at this. We've only read a couple commentaries, but look at all these commentaries. Holy moly. Now, what I'm wondering is, like, do pastors and stuff, have they read every single one of these things? I'm, like, curious, like, how many, like actually, like, go through all these things and just think about it, right? Intriguing. Let's just kind of look up, what did the Israelites learn in the wilderness? Now, since we're going in the story of Moses, right? What did the Israelites learn by living in the wilderness for 40 years? I mean, I guess it was humility, right? I guess that one commentary got into that, right? Let's read this. So I literally put in, what did the Israelites, what did the Israelites learn? Throughout their journey, we see the Israelites worship God, mess up, experience God's discipline, mess up again, and experience God's blessing and healing. Their journey can give us a few lessons to take with us as we learn how to step out in faith and trust that God knows the way. Now that's interesting. Why did that one say that and then the other one said humility? Right? I mean, they did learn humility, right? But I actually think that's actually very interesting. I just wouldn't really, I guess that is really a big one, right? Stepping out in faith and trusting that God knows the way. And I think that's the other weird thing, and it's kind of weird, right? Because even just reading that little sentence right there, it kind of is making me think of like risk and faith, right? And I'm wondering if there is an element of like risk and faith, because I feel like there is kind of a little level of, it's kind of like you going, and because there's also the verse that says faith comes by hearing, or no, faith is the substance of things not seen, right? And so it's kind of interesting because it's actually making me think of that one verse that you brought up, right, about like the narrow path and the broad path, right? Sometimes if we look at the broad path, maybe we'll see a bunch of people going down it, right? And we're like, okay, well, that works. We see that it works. There's a bunch of people going down on it, right? But then what's weird about, like, I guess maybe stepping out in faith sometimes is maybe sometimes God wants to make a way. Like, there's that whole quote that I hear a lot of pastors say. It says, they say that God makes ways where there seems to be no way, right? And why a lot of pastors say that, because that's actually not a Bible verse, right? But why pastors say that is because if you read the Bible, there's many actually aspects where that's actually what happens, and that's what actually occurs, right? God did make these strange ways for people when it seemed like it was impossible. So I think that's very interesting, right? So I guess that's a big one, right? Stepping out of faith. They feel they learned death was just the younger generation that entered. Interesting, huh? Interesting. Intriguing. Okay, well, that was a strange Bible study. This was a strange Bible study. It's a very interesting Bible study. It's weird. So I guess I feel like this the whole thing that they didn't really cover too much is the whole aspect of so teach us to number our days, right? I feel like there could be something deeper about that, right? I mean, I guess maybe, one aspect they didn't bring up is, how, like, Jesus, like, fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. I mean, maybe he was counting it, he had that day pretty, You know, man, that actually makes me think about that right now, because you know the Israelites were out there in the wilderness for 40 years, and then Jesus was out there for 40 days and 40 nights fasting, right? And so maybe the Lord Jesus Christ was counting his days, because he had to know that number. Because I feel like there comes a point where you can actually kind of lose track of time, or you can lose track of how many days it was, right? Especially like once you get past like a month or something like that. And it is kind of interesting that it is recorded that it's like 40 days and 40 nights, right? Like it's spot on. It's not like 41 days. It's not like 43 days. It's literally like 40 days. And it's kind of weird because now none of these other commentaries actually brought that up. But I actually just started thinking about that because it went into the story of Moses. Man, that's so weird. I probably sound so crazy right now, but I feel like there's like, does that it seems like there's a weird connection right there, but I'm not fully getting it. But like, I feel like that's a combo right there, but I don't really know. It's a very peculiar combo. Right? Isn't that a weird combo? Like, does the number 40 represent something? Let's look that up actually right now. I'm actually curious, because you know the Israelites were out there for 40 years. What does 40 represent in the Bible? What does 40 represent in the Bible? Does it mean something else besides Oh, wow. So that's weird. There's also this one. God flooded the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. Moses fasted for 40 days. Jesus wandered into the wilderness for, 40 days. Overall, yes, associated with number of testing, hardship, and endured to become more spiritually aware. Interesting. I actually totally forgot that about the other ones, right? Very interesting. I'm going to start keeping an eye out for that number. The number 40. I know, I forgot the flood too, right? That's so weird, right? Alright, we're going to do a card draw now. That was a very odd Bible study. I feel like that Bible study was kind of hard, I ain't going to lie. I will be honest, like the Old Testament stuff does get me... It's a little harder for me to do like Old Testament stuff because... I don't know, just harder for me, right? There's a lot of stuff in the Old Testament that I can see get a little somewhat controversial, especially within certain denominations and things of that nature, and you know, the laws and things of this and stuff like that. So generally on this stream, I've been trying to just keep it with the New Testament and parts, but I still go into parts of the Old Testament. The Old Testament gets a little bit harder. So the number 40, it's interesting. Teach us to number our days. It's weird. Teach us to number our days. Alright, let's cut this and let's see what we draw today. What sort of artwork are we going to see today? Let's drink some coffee too, by the way. Cheers. I feel like today's Bible study was very much... like we went into so many things that I actually didn't really like ponder over. I haven't really like thought about, right? So that's why it feels a little harder for me to do today's Bible study. But we got it done, right? Especially it's a little embarrassing too because I didn't even know what wisdom was. It's just so weird, right? Like we're supposed to walk in wisdom towards outsiders. And I know there's many parts of wisdom that is mentioned in Scripture, but in terms of like the actual definition of wisdom, I didn't even know what that was. I'm like, that's so weird. Like I didn't even like... Oh well, we learned something new today. Alright, first card of the day. Selfsnia Sanctuary. Second card. Weird. Okay, we got the Revelation card. It's odd. Every time I draw this card, it's just very weird. I don't know about it. It's just a weird card. This is actually one of those other cards, but what's weird about this card is this card has an apocryphal text to it. And what's weird is, see how it says Ecclesiasticus? We'll jump back in a bit. God says, ask and he'll give you wisdom. That is true, huh? Yeah. You know what's weird about this card is that it says Ecclesiasticus, right? I always just thought that was Ecclesiastes, and it's not Ecclesiastes. It's actually Ecclesiasticus. And this is actually an apocryphal text. And what's weird is, as I started getting deeper into it, the Apocrypha was actually part of the original King James Version of the Bible. And now I'm actually curious to think, did some of these older commentaries we just read, do you think they read the 1611 version of the King James Version of the Bible, or did they read like the newer version? I really don't know. But they have this apocryphal text on this card. It says, "Many are in high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek." Mysteries are revealed unto the meek. And what is meek, right? What's interesting about being meek is like controlled strength. It's like you having a forbearance of knowing that you could potentially use your power for something, but you are holding it back. You're not fully releasing it out, right? Interesting. Okay, number 3. Forest. Number 4. Avison, Angel of Hope. Huh. Strange draw today. Number 5. Weird. Noble Panther. This one reminds me of the AI systems. Reminds me of like nature versus robot. Oh, Life Burst. We drew this yesterday. Life Burst. Alright, let's put this on our story. Okay, let's see here. Let's take our Wi-Fi off so I don't disconnect. Welcome, travelers, to the card draw of the day, where we get to observe some artwork. And I know these things are kind of weird, but these things are kind of easy to do, so I kind of like doing them. Today we drew Celsnia Sanctuary, Revelation, Forest, Avison, Angel of Hope, Noble Panther, Life Burst again. What is this card going to be? I'm always curious. And the last card of the day, oh interesting, we have Mistraven. This actually reminds me of Elijah, the story of Elijah, where Elijah was actually fed by ravens. And what's actually also weird today is we actually do have a raven's claw. Found this thing in Long Beach. It is a very peculiar item that we have. And what's also weird about today's draw is this card right here. It does have an apocryphal text. Revelation. Anyway, farewell everybody. Wisdom. Okay. It sounds, man, it's weird, like, man, dude, these Bible studies are so strange, dude. I can't. It's so crazy to me, man, that we've actually done this many Bible studies. It's like, it's really like, because like, I guess, I mean, the other day I did say these Bible studies kind of do get, I mean, they're not that hard, right? They're not really that hard, especially because we're just like reading aloud. But I guess that's the hard part. The hard part is like the embarrassment of doing these Bible studies sometimes, right? Especially like if I mess up, I say something wrong or something like that, right? That's kind of what gets hard at times. But the thing is like, in the hard aspect, it's really not that difficult, right? It's just us pondering and thinking about it and, stuff like that. But it's just so weird. And it's weird just how, like, I feel like how, I don't know about, it just, maybe just in the season that I'm in at the moment, it just feels like I'm able to kind of do these Bible studies a little bit more frequently, right? Whereas I feel like if I structured these things differently, I probably would have gotten burnt out by now. And it just sounds weird to say that, right? But I'm like trying to find the fun in it, right? But yeah, this is the last card of the day. We got Mistraven. And it's kind of weird because like it sounds ridiculous, but even just drawing this card, I'm just like, man, it kind of like re-motivated me up because then it reminded me of the Ravenclaw that we have, right? And it just reminds me of Elijah being fed by ravens and how it was just such a peculiar thing. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen a dead raven on the ground, but I actually have found it's weird. It's like, it's weird that I even have this thing. I think people just think I'm crazy, but like, man, every time I just see this thing, it's just gnarly. It just makes me think about Elijah. Maybe that's why I have that thing. Maybe that's just so I keep like getting remotivated, right? Sometimes I feel like I need to like get remotivated to do things. Anyway, that was the card draw, everybody. Okay, man, gnarly. Okay, let's see here. So there was a trick I kind of wanted to learn how to do. Where is it? Boomerang BMX. This dude in this here, it's weird because like I haven't seen too many people do it, and I do remember like some people saying that this trick was like really hard. And it's weird because like there is this dude, I think his name's Dennis McCoy, and he did this trick in the 80s, man. And it's so crazy because like he did this in the 80s and it's still, I don't even think no one's ever even replicated it to the amount of times that he's done it. And it's like, it's so crazy to me because it's like, it's kind of weird because like if you, I don't know, it's just so weird when a trick is still hard today and like someone did it like way back in the day and it's like, and it's still super hard to do today. And I keep thinking, I'm actually wondering if it might be his bike geometry from the 80s. Maybe it was his bike weight. It seemed like he had, let me show you the clip. But it seemed like he had really forward bars like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holy shnikes. How in the world did he do that? And what's weird is like I look at his bike and he's not running like zero offset forks. Yeah, like if you look at that, he's not running zero offset forks, but also look at his handlebars. His handlebars are like straight up like Chicago, right? And I'm wondering, and then also the other thing I'm noticing is if you see his tire, Bro, he looks like he's running like a 1.6. Like a 1.6 tire, and I'm wondering, like, does that affect that trick or something like that? What other things is he doing? But yeah, it's a very hard trick. It's weird because he makes it look very easy. But like, I overheard some other flatlanders and they're talking about it. It's actually a very hard trick to do, and it's I mean, I guess that's why you don't really see it too often. It's almost like this. It's almost like this strange like legendary Pokemon that you find. You're like, what in the world, bro? I don't. It's like so rare that people don't even know how hard it is. It feels like. And I see it now, and I know how hard it is because like I can't even do 2 boomerangs. But man, I just look at it and I'm like, how did he do that, man? It's like so crazy. Let's just watch it again. So he's doing the no-touch boomerang, right? And it's just, man, he made it. He literally made that thing look so easy. Yeah, it might have to be. I think it's the bars, man. His bars are like straight up like Chicago status. It had to have helped him somehow. It might also be because he's using the knee saver bars, and those bars kind of have like this sweep underneath, and maybe he could put his knees up so he could put a little bit more of his like momentum up and forward on his bike. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know, but it's just a strange trick. It's just a weird trick when I don't see other people really doing it too much. Okay, let's see here. I'll be back. I'm gonna jerk some coffee. I'll be back. Okay, let's see here. How do you do multiple boomerangs? How do people do multiple boomerangs? Let's see if there's any how-tos before we try and get into it. How to multiple boomerang BMX. See, it's weird, man. They don't. This is what's so weird about this trick too, man. Look, we put in how to multiple boomerang. You know, there should be one video on here, right? How to boomerang, and these are all single boomerangs. What I'm trying to find is, how do we do multiple boomerangs? Because like one is easy. One's not that hard to do. Like, see how this one says multiple whiplashes? There is not one on here with multiple boomerangs. There's also different styles of how to do the boomerang. Let's see, I think I saved another one. Where is it? I think, oh yeah, there's this one that I saw someone do. I think this one's actually easier. Oh wait, no. he like does one where he like jumps off of his bike. If you let's watch it again. Right there. But man, that trick looks crazy because it's like, let's watch it again. Maybe we can. Maybe if I show it to somebody, someone's gonna learn it and they could teach me. How do you do that? That looks wild, bro. That thing looks crazy, man. Like, it doesn't seem that hard, but when I do it, it's actually hard. Like, that's the weird thing. See, this guy isn't running zero offset forks either. Man, look at how, like, contorted his body is. That looks insane, bro. That thing looks like he's doing, like, a straight Superman on his bike. Like, he's, like, fully, like, contouring his bike to get that second. Like, I think that's what's so weird about that trick. You have to, like, fully use, like, your entire body to, like, swing your momentum around to, like, get into doing it multiple times or something. I don't know. It kind of makes me want to change my, zero offset force. It seems like everybody that's doing multiple boomerangs, they're not using zero offset forks. All right, let's get to riding.
The software engineering program because they pay very well. It's a fast-paced industry. The bootcamp
I kind of want to change my bike up, maybe. I might put my forks to the 15. Check the PSI. I'm like curious if I should change my fork geometry. I guess we'll just keep it like this, maybe. It's just a little weird to me when everybody that's doing the multiple boomerangs, they're all using different offset forks. I wonder if you could do like. I don't want to do more like boomerang stuff. Boomerang! Come on. Okay. Man, that trick is gnarly, dude. They make it look easy, but that thing's freaking hard. I have no idea how I did it. I think the touch ones are easier. I'm gonna do the touch ones. I have landed one before, but it was like on accident. Oh well. I would just give up on that trick. That trick's like too hard, I think. There's this one too I wanted to learn. There has to be a secret that they're doing with the multiple boomerangs. What about decade to boomerang? What's this one?
Black Friday deals on select products happening right now at Best Buy.
I forgot it. Is this the song I used to listen to? I don't think it is. What if I just do one-footed, like double, no-handed ones?
Black Friday is on at DSW, and it's big. Get 30% off the latest foods, the freshest sneakers, and almost everything is.
Sounds cool. What about Stick Me the Undertaker? You have to change it, huh? Sounds pretty cool.
Dude, I'm gonna do that Undertaker.
That might even just be easier to land it like that.
This is a Tempur-Pedic mattress, and it's designed to help make aches and pains a thing of the past by relieving pressure points and supporting your body in a way no other mattress can. For a limited time, save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets.
Wow, gnarly. Nugget! Little monkey! I forgot that that was actually done with a fisheye. The thing about that fisheye is it seems everything's in focus. I guess we could try this one again, but for some reason this one's like blurry. I don't know why. Let's try it again, I guess. See, why is it blurry? I wonder if there's a way I have to adjust it on here. Yeah, that's like way blurry, huh? Like, look at that. Like, what's even in focus? Okay, that looks better, right? It's still like super blurry. Where's my phone at? The lens is all blurry. It kind of sucks, huh? I know. I got this. I have this old lens. Well, actually, it's not that old, but it said it was used for the phone. But the problem is like the outside of it like gets blurry. I don't know why. I think I've got to get a different one. It ain't really working very good, but it's kind of cool. Like, I guess it's cool if I'm like right in the middle. good one right there. Watch. BMX related? No. I mean, I wish it was BMX related. Helping my dad out. I wonder if any of those thumbnails look cool. Let's see if I kind of just after a cool looking thumbnail. Ezekiel's wheels and spokes one day? That'd be cool, huh? Darn it, why is it so blurry? Do you guys know how to get it to not be blurry? I'm using a fisheye. Oh, it's pretty cool, huh? Where did I land it though? Not that distracting, yeah, if I'm in the center. I think I'm gonna try and get another fisheye. I bet there's like a good one I could get. I don't know, like a really cheap one. I'm wondering if I just zoom it in. Let's see what that happens. Like, cause you know how it's like already kind of like not, it's like kind of like blurry over there. What if I just like zoom it in just more? Maybe that would work better. I guess I'd have to just push it back. Well, that's weird. It's like, it's kind of like the same camera, but it has just like a subtle fisheye. Huh, maybe I'll start using it like that. It like glares on the camera. I'm gonna take it off. Ooh. Trying it out, but it don't really. By the way, this is the one that I'm using. It's this T-Wing fisheye lens, but it's blurry. I wonder what the best one you get is. Oh, that's why this thing's up. Here, this thing's all messed up. Sorry, everybody, you gotta fix this thing. I'm just using this. This is a really old phone. This is, I think it's like an iPhone 7 or something I'm using. It's crazy because the battery like died on this phone, but like I'm still able to use it. What's wrong with this thing? I feel like that thing's like closer than usual. It is closer than usual because normally I'd be like over here. That's weird. I feel like it got messed up. Man, that thing's pushing all my cards over. Yeah, it is like closer, I think. Normally you should be able to see that and that. That's weird. Oh wait, that's odd. It's really strange. Some camera or something. There we go, I finally fixed it. It was like locked on a setting or something. Sorry everybody, I'm just kind of messing around. I'm just messing around today. I wanted to learn multiple boomerangs, but it's hard. I need to start moving these cards, man. See what they're knocked over.
Hey everyone, this is King Pandarus. We're going to show you how to make a song with Maxis.
Why can't I hit multiple boomerang? I know what I'm doing wrong. Just keep trying it. Bro, that trick is hard, dude. How do they do it? I have no idea. Like, it's just such a weird trick. Try funky chicken tail up. Man, I've been stuck on these tricks for so long. I don't know if it's just me. Is it my bike geometry? Am I just bad at them? Like multiple boomerangs, locomotive, backyard. I've just been stuck on them, man. I can't do them. Today just feels hard. I feel like the Bible study was hard. Just today's was hard. I think it's just because I'm a little bit tired. So I'm not like, my brain's not firing off correctly. But we can still try, right? Ow! In my elbow. Ay, my elbow. How'd I hit my elbow?
Forever Shake Chocolate Bar. Crunchy hazelnuts.
Let's stay hydrated. Man, why does today feel so hard? I haven't even landed anything, I don't think. Oh well. Guess today's just failure day. I can't land anything. No worries. I'm just gonna trip on it. Should I keep trying? Keep trying to progress. Elbow hurts. But this one, I don't know how to work on it very much. Boom, boom, boom. That was crazy, bro. I don't even know how I landed that. I should have just saved that. That was a switch foot, regular foot generator. I haven't landed that in a long time, actually. I was just messing around. Okay.
Sure.
Decade to Boomerang. We're gonna try and learn that.
I think this is how they learn double decades. It's weird. There's not a how-to on how to do a double decade and not a how-to how to do a double boomerang. And I see a lot of people doing them, so. Right here. I'm gonna mark this area. Shouldn't be that hard, right? Man, you think this trick would be easy? No, it's not easy. I feel like it's like I'm not doing something. That's what I know I'm not doing, because like the bike's like getting away from me. And maybe I just gotta practice this. So like I land it. Shouldn't be that hard, right? It is. I can't do it, it's freaking hard. Need some new music up in here.
Crazy good. That sleep expert diet mattress firm matching with my perfect match.
That's it. I forgot about this clip too. What would he do? How would we do this? Wow. How did he do that? He like just does like a straight like Superman or something. Maybe it's because I'm jumping through it. Maybe I gotta like throw my leg through it like that. Yeah, that's actually what I gotta do, I think. Man, that was a gnarly combo.
Dude, that was insane. I'm gonna penalty run this. Yeah, I gotta like put my leg over there. Yeah, that makes more sense. Because then you're like putting your body weight through it more. I think I've been doing it wrong. Yeah, that one looks way better. That's a hard trick, man. What's crazy, I've actually never landed that before. That was really sketchy, but... I think these boomerangs look way better though. Yeah, I think there's a reason why he does it like that. Or they do it like that. Is because when you... So prior what I was doing, I was like doing the boomerang and then going up here, right? But I think what ends up happening is since I'm going right here, my body weight is more over here. Whereas if I put my weight over there, it kind of like pushes the body weight through. Where it automatically just wants to make your body push through it when you get it that way. Yep. Ah! Oh, dude, I'm gonna land this thing. I gotta push through that last one. I need to not put my foot on that peg. Feels like we're getting close. Okay, let's see here. Where my playlist at?
Shop Macy's Black Friday early access now. Like the Colin leather sofa.
Coming in, all new Pizza Hut $7 deal on menu. Choose your $7 pay, 7 days.
We gotta aim for that peg, push through it. Shouldn't be that hard. Like I've been stuck on this all day, bro. Isn't that crazy? Like this trick should be, they make it look so easy. I don't know why. It's hard though, man. So once I get to this point, we're gonna push off, make sure we lean over, don't put my foot on the peg. We're gonna aim for this one and then snap out of it. I'm gonna mark this peg. Dude, we're gonna do it. You can like stall it and then do another one. Dude, this is crazy. Oh my god, I almost did it. Oh, that was so close, dude. That was the closest one of the day. Ah! So close. We're gonna land it. Hopefully. I like a different song for this one.
Well, we've got gifts for the whole family. And by gifts, we mean steaks. A nice juicy ribeye for Papa. Or even beef pasta for Mum. And a French onion soup.
Need some chill music, huh?
Could we have a jelly donut?
Yeah. Can we have an old fashioned?
Could we have melon cream?
Can we have chocolate
Could we
spread?
have vanilla sprinkles?
What am I doing wrong? I think it's like I'm putting. Keep falling this way. Okay, so if I keep falling this way, I need to put more weight over on here. Yeah, because, okay, so my weight's like too back over here. I need to push my leg. Maybe I need to be more forward up in here and then aim for that peg. Oh! That was almost it right there. Man, why is that trick so hard? It's gnarly. Boruto. We're gonna land right. I'm gonna try and land today. Three, two, one. Here we go. Get right here. I gotta focus. Like I'm doing it. It seems like I'm doing exactly what they're doing. It's just I can't do it. Now I'm about to give up on this. This boss has defeated me. What in the world, bro? This trick's hard. I'm doing something wrong. I know it. It's like I almost landed one, so I'm like so like on it to just try and land it. Something up in here, like messing up. Maybe I'm messing up like when I press the brakes, or I think I'm messing up the swing of how I swing the momentum, because I keep like swinging my momentum like out, and I need to be like more in this little bubble.
Listen, there's a good chance somebody's trying to hack your website right now.
Bro, it's right there. I feel it. I feel like when you land it.
Security built into your site.
Let's listen to chill music. So I don't get frustrated. This is the hard part right here. You can do it infinity. That's an infinity combo if you learn it. If you really master that, you can just keep going around and around and around. I think that might even be more of the infinity combo than the windsurfer things. Because this one you can like consistently like gain momentum. parabolic time chamber. Okay, I think I'm gonna mark that area because this is a very important area for this trick.
Am I early?
Mark that right there. Okay, right here. Today is basically just the battle of the boomerang. Right, it's actually a flail. I think this is a multiple flail. I don't think. Well, I guess a flail is kind of like a boomerang, but this is a multiple flail. It's not a legitimate, like full-on, like no-touch boomerang. It's a touch boomerang. It's a double flail. Why is it so hard? It's gnarly. It doesn't even look that crazy, but it's hard, man. I don't know why it's hard. This is hard. I don't know. Maybe I'm just bad at it. Okay, so I'm putting my weight too far that way. I can tell because my bike starts lifting up. We're gonna land it. I've never landed one of these before. We're almost there. Jesus, dude. What am I doing wrong? Like, I don't understand. Like, it really shouldn't be this hard. This thing is like max rep for me right here, dude. Like, this is really challenging for me. Like, you just can't mess up. I think that's the hard part is you have to carry your momentum like through the bike. I'm doing something wrong right here. Right up in here. You have to I mean, I could try this one where we go like that and then push off from the tire because I've seen someone do that. Maybe we'll try it like that. No, let's do it the way I've been doing it. that easy. Like, I know I can land this. I just feel it. I'm gonna land one of these, man. I know I can land it. Like, I can literally visualize this trick. I'm just not doing it. So this part is the hard part right here. Doing the jump. I wonder what somebody that actually knows how to do this trick, what they'd tell me. I'm trying to figure it out. How was I doing it prior to this? I think I was doing like a tire push off in the beginning. Maybe I could do the tire push off and then that one at the end. I mean, that one seems easier right there. That's like a double tire push off. So what about we do the tire push off, seat stay push off into the flail. Okay, that one's easier. We're gonna do it like that. What up, Joe Fate? Working on a hard boss right now. It's hard. I don't know why it's so hard, man. I'm struggling on this, man. This is like straight struggle. Are there any verses you've been thinking of lately, Joe Fate? I feel defeated, man. There was one I almost landed today. I've literally tried this like 200 times, bro. Out of 200 attempts, I probably only got close to one. It makes no sense. I don't know what is wrong with this trick. Oh, we're gonna do it. Oh, that was it. I think the tire push-off's easier. Oh my God, that was it. Ah, fudge. What's wrong with me? You're so close, yet so far. I gotta make sure I'm in this weird sphere of momentum. That's what this trick feels like. This trick feels like it's like you have this little force field, and if you go outside of the force field, it doesn't want to work anymore. Oh, that was it. Oh, fudge. No. This is the goal today, to land this thing. Holy moly. Holy Toledo. We're getting closer. I basically landed it right there. Almost. I gotta break out the cross for this trick. I haven't been wearing my cross, maybe that's why I haven't been landing this. Oh, that was it. Holy moly. Come on. What is wrong with this thing? Dude, brutal. Maybe I just think this trick's hard. This trick is freaking hard, man. I'm legitimately struggling. It's hilarious. Oh, fudge. That was it, man. We're gonna land this thing, bro. We're landing it. It's gonna be worth it. I don't care if anybody watches it, man. This is just a test of feet for me, because this trick looks really easy. That's the weird thing about this trick. Or I don't know, maybe I just think it looks easy, but if you see people doing it, it doesn't even look that hard. That's the thing. But I just find it maybe I think I'm just really bad at boomerangs. Or flails. It. Dude, what did I do? That was it right there. Oh no. Hey. Ha. Hey. Ooh. At least you're having fun. It probably doesn't seem very fun, but it's a challenge. you guys know how to do this trick, please give me some pointers. I'm like struggling. Your boy's struggling out here trying to land this thing, man. Like that part is like so, like you have to like just get your momentum right, and then you have to like throw your momentum like through the bike. Because if you put your momentum like out here, it makes you want to like, I mean, that's like the best way I could describe it. Like you have to like control your momentum. Right there, I keep messing up. I'm actually leaning too far forward, and that's why, like right here, it's making me want to go like this. I have to be like a little bit more back, and then when I get over here, get a little bit more forward and then throw it over here. Right? That's it. Let's keep going. We're landing this today, I think, hopefully. There we go. That was the first one I've ever run, I think. Woo. I'm so happy. Oh my God. Dude, that trick took so long. I have to say I probably tried that trick 200 times today, man. It's crazy because I have literally every single one recorded. Like, I wish there was like some sort of ticker, or like it counted how many times I would try a trick. I think I tried that probably 200 times. Brutal, dude. I need to land another one now. Let's see if I can like get in my muscle memory. Dude, I'm so stoked. It's so weird, dude. Today was like so hard. Like the Bible study was hard, and then like the riding was hard. And then I'm just so glad I just kept with it, because like, that was a gnarly grind, bro. Maybe I just think it was a gnarly grind. It was a gnarly grind. Okay, let's find another one.
Santa? Hey, Michelle. Do you want to use the front door this year? The tide goes in and out, just like the ride is. Down, inside.
Alright, right here. We're gonna land another one. I know it sounds crazy, but like, if you land a trick, you kind of want to do it again, because like, it'll kind of solidify your muscle memory. Yes, we did it. Man, I'm so happy. I get it. Like right here, you kind of have to like, it's kind of weird because like right here, you just want to like push off, but you actually have to like readjust your bike so it's like in the middle, because like when you push off, you're kind of like this. You kind of have to like go like that and then push off. I think that's the secret. There we go. Dude, we're stoked on that. Dude, I learned a new trick today. Gnarly. Okay, let's keep doing it. I need to like get in my muscle memory. Bro. The double flail, bro. It's actually a double flail boomerang with it's a double flail boomerang tire push off. That's what it is. Ooh. Dude, I bet you could do a triple. Dude, I think you could actually do it like an infinity combo. If you like really, really got good at this trick, I think you could do it for like an infinity combo. Because it's like one of those things where I feel like you could just keep gaining momentum. That's too far out right here. I can actually, it's crazy, I can actually tell what I'm doing now. Like I can feel it. Oh. That's crazy. Dude, that trick is so gnarly. I can't believe I learned a new trick. I'm so happy. It's been a long time since I learned something new. Yay! We have learned something. You were in there, Creative Fit? Holy moly, that was a grind. I haven't like normally, it's kind of weird because like today, I normally don't ride like this, by the way. The only reason I'm riding like this today is because like I almost landed one. And you know when you almost land something, you just kind of want to like keep doing it? That's kind of what it, like I don't normally ride like this. This is like straight grind day. Like grinding to learn a new trick. I've landed 3 of them though, so I want to see if I can keep landing them. What's weird about this trick is like you have to like press the brakes at the right time. Like there's all these like little timings. I think that's what makes it so hard. Little subtle adjustments you have to do. But I can tell now if I'm like, if I like that one, if I lean too far out, I can tell if I'm either putting my weight. I think that's the secret. What is this? Come on. New beat. I didn't know that he would wear a cross. It's weird how like so many like 90s like rappers that just like wear crosses. Did you notice that? I feel like a lot of 90s hip hop artists like rocked crosses. Like, I feel like that's a little bit more rare for hip hop artists nowadays. I honestly like the 90s hip hop. Big L. Big L has that. He has that one album. He has just like a giant cross on him. I wonder if Nas did. I wish I could listen to that stuff on stream, but it like silences my stream out. What's weird is like I don't think it does it to like the big streamers, because I've been noticing like the big streamers like. I think Twitch just allows them to listen to whatever they want. Because every time I listen to a copyrighted song, I notice like when I make the VOD, it like silences it out. Oh. This beat's kind of tame, I ain't gonna lie. Thought it was gonna be a lot gnarlier. I don't listen to this one though. Oh, I'm happy today. At first I was like super like, today's so weird, man, because like I failed in the beginning of the Bible study. And then I failed in the beginning of the bike riding. It's just so weird, like, but I'm just so glad I just like kept with it because like, you just see all my failures. And if it was easier, I wish it was easier, honestly, but I guess that's kind of what makes it fun, right? I guess maybe if something's too easy, then it's not fun, right? Because then it's just too easy.
Breathe it in. Start clean with the power of Clorox.
Trial riding. Looking to our trials with joy. We'll have another one. learn to count our days. Remember our days. I guess that's the same as count. Man, these Bible studies are gnarly, man. I ain't the only one doing them like this, though. There's a lot of people on Twitch doing it. I mean, I don't know about a lot, but that's why I got an influence to do them like that. It's honestly just easier, too. Like, instead of making it 2 streams, 2 titles, 2 different tags you have to use, just boom, you just do it all in one thing, right? Way easier. That's probably why they started doing it, because it's just way easier to do it that way. But I think what's weird that I've been learning about doing like the Bible study and then the bike riding is that it makes me commit to it, right? Because I feel like, honestly, like Creative Fit, like I feel like if I didn't do the bike riding for today's Bible study, I would have probably deleted that Bible study, because I'd probably be like, oh, you know what? I messed that Bible study up. I messed some words up. I'm gonna, I don't want that one out. But now, because since I did the bike riding and then since I landed something on my bike, I'm just like, all right, let's just go with it. So it makes me commit to it. It's kind of funny.
Brutality.
So I'll find another one. Or hopefully I can find another one. Alright. It's weird. I was like in it. I was like in this little like I was in the flow of it. I feel like I gotta like up my energy bar again and then do it.
Making healthy taste this good. Science did that. Maybe we should.
Oh, come on.
Can I land another one? That's the question. Can I replicate it? I've replicated it 3 times today. Can we do it? I gotta do it 4 times. Because that's what they're saying, right? 4, I mean, I guess 4D. But I'm gonna try and do it 4 times today for the number of 40 times in the wilderness. Even though that's not 4D. It has 4 in it though, so that's why we're gonna do it 4 times. What is up with me? Oh, what's wrong? You saw. I'm like slow now. I don't know why. so weird. I'm like slow. What's going on here? I'm like putting my weight a little bit too back. What's up? Brutal. Now I'm actually wondering if I can even do it again. I forgot I actually used this song on the run that I had. Clear tape out here. I need some clear tape out here. Where is that? Okay. Kidding me. Bro. I'm not complaining. You gotta focus. It's not on the flow anymore. There we go. Woo! We did another one. For a little bit there, I was like, bro, did I just forget about how to do that trick? Yes. We landed 4 of them today. 4 double flail tire push-offs. Nar. Nar, dudes. Let's drink some water. 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 Oh my goodness, that dude ate it. Water. Holy moly, that was crazy. Let's watch Luke. Luke's gnarly. Dude, look at him. That's crazy, bro. One day we're gonna do stuff like that. Luke is a gnarly rider, bro. Nice. Luke Malone. Shoutouts to Luke Malone. Man, it's crazy that I just landed 4 double boomerang things. I'm stoked, dude. I was not expecting to even land that today. Like, I was just kind of like messing around. Alrighty. I'm gonna end the stream here pretty soon. Let's leave it with some scripture. Let's read some scripture. Let's see here. Here we go. Chapter 15. John chapter 15. I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away, and every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. Already you are clean because of the word that I have spoken to you. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit by itself, unless it abides in the vine. Neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine, and you are the branches. Whoever abides in me, and I in him, he is that bears much fruit. For apart from me you can do nothing. If anyone does not abide in me, he is thrown away like a branch that withers. And withers, and the branches are gathered and thrown into the fire and burned. If you abide in me, and my words abide in you, which that's actually the big one right there. Let's underline that. He says, and my words abide in you. Ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit, and so prove to be my disciples. That's actually kind of crazy. By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit, and so prove to be my disciples. And we're supposed to bear lots of fruit. And what do fruits do, right? I've always remembered this because the pastor said, what do fruits do? Fruits produce seeds. Is that the difference between a fruit and a vegetable? Let's look that up. What's the difference between a fruit and a vegetable? I think a fruit has seeds, right? Difference between a fruit and a vegetable. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what that's why that pastor said that. Fruits and vegetables comprise different parts of the plants from which they grow. Fruits come from the flowering part of the plant and contain seeds. In contrast, vegetables are the edible parts of the plant, such as the leaf stems, roots, and bulbs. So, by that part, if we are to bear much fruit and so have a lot of seed in us, we're supposed to be sowing a lot of seeds, because now the parable is this: the seed is the word of God, and that's in Luke 8:11. It's kind of crazy. We just found a gnarly combo up in here. It's kind of funny because I was just like looking at that verse and I'm like, oh. And so let us bear lots of fruit. Anyway, everybody, it's time to end the stream. I hope you guys have a good one. Continue to try your best and have fun. Farewell, everybody. Farewell.